Good evening, everybody. Monday Morning Quarterback, episode 16. Sorry for the delayed start. Had some travel delays. Make it here. Had some travel delays. Came home from Texas yesterday, out there for the National Quarter Midget Race, and then jumped on a plane this evening after this afternoon, and out here working on another project for CSI. So wanted to make sure we got our Monday Morning Quarterback in. Had some flight delays, had to detour around a severe thunderstorm, and so my flight landed about an hour late, and so I apologize for getting started so late. So I took some notes while I was sitting there delayed, and just wanted to go over how everybody did last weekend, and some things we're working on and got coming up here in the next few weeks, and then answer any questions you have. So first thing was a great big thank you to everybody for sharing our new video that Tyler Herget did for us, and really excited about that and working with him. Got some cool new videos we're working on, more inside look on our engineering process at CSI, in addition to some events we're traveling to and new products we're working on. So thank you, everybody. That was awesome. 75 shares. Really help us spread the word that CSI is back. We're excited to own CSI again, and got a lot of cool new projects in the works, and that's one of the reasons I'm up here where I'm at, working on some cool new stuff. So I wish you could see. I just got in my rental car and pulled over. Absolutely stunning up here. I'm in South Dakota, and just gorgeous up here. Sun setting, and it's green. I passed a peacock and a buffalo in my first 2 miles here. So apologize, I'm looking down at my notes. So last week I was at Texas. We won 3 of the classes out there. Layla Ashcraft, Colin Mitchell, and CJ Horn was a first-time national tour winner, so congratulations to those guys. Awesome to be out there supporting our customers, and we're looking forward to the Robbie Stanley and Battle at the Brickyard, which will be the next quarter midget events we're attending. This weekend, Jake will be at the High Bank Hustle for us. So for those of you attending that event, be sure you hit up Jake. I do apologize in advance. We don't have a trailer on site. We actually just ordered a brand new trailer, and we'll be taking delivery of that in the fall. So we're kind of makeshift traveling to races the balance of the year here, but that new trailer is going to be really nice and will serve us well moving forward. So again, Jake will be at the High Bank Hustle. Last week, Kevin Thomas won at I-80. Tyler Courtney won at Knoxville. Both USAC competition. Those two guys are 1-2 in national points, both riding on our shocks, which is great. And Harley Holland won the Power I Speed Week, the micro portion, in the driven Midwest car. So that was cool for Harley. I believe he's second in overall points to Joby Miller. So I'm not sure if Harley's running for the whole championship or not, but he did win Speed Week points. First-time winners Cruz Stanfield and Wyatt Reiniger both got their first quarter midget wins, so awesome for those kids to pick up wins. AJ Hopkins won for the 3rd or 4th time at Putnamville this weekend, so he's had a great start in the Ottinger car, and those are the wins that I had jotted down. Anybody that's tuned in has questions, feel free to ask, and I'll start rattling through the questions that I had. So a common one we're getting is the new bump rubber kit. If you're not able to get the gap that we suggest, should you take a bump rubber out? That's something I'm going to do a little bit more testing on. The rate does ramp up substantially, so we don't necessarily recommend to just pull a puck out to get your rate. However, we'll do a little more testing and determine how we need to adjust things if you just can't fit 3 of the pucks in there. Same thing with people wanting to run 4 pucks. That's going to be a little easier scenario. But we'll have more information for you guys on that. Another question we're commonly getting with that new bump kit is running it in a cup. It's not designed to be ran in a cup. I don't even think the pucks will fit in a cup. We do have a nice bag that goes around them if you're wanting to kind of conceal what you have there. But those are a couple common questions we're getting. Another one is people concerned with taking the eyelet, the adjustable eyelet off their shocks. Super easy on our shocks. Everything's contained in the shaft, so nothing's going to fall out. Take that rod end off, take the jam nut off, travel marker off, put your bump stack on. The only catch is when you go to reassemble everything, you need to make sure the jam nut's screwed all the way up the shaft and that rod end is in the full soft position. When you go to screw it back on, screw it on until it stops, bring the jam nut down to it, jam it up, you're good to go. And all of that comes with the bump kit. There's instructions on how to take the rod end off, as well as detailed starting points for everything with that. Jared, your question on left front shock compression travel on a wing sprint car. It typically varies from track to track. Usually you're going to want 2 3/4 of an inch to 3 1/4 inch down travel, depending on the size track you're running. Half miles will run less left front travel than quarter miles, where we need to get down a little farther on the left front to rotate the corner. But that is a big tuning tool. We have customers that will use packers to kind of control that down travel, and they're using that to control how far the car gets down on the left front in relation to the right rear. It's really important in wing racing right now. So, Jay, our shocks are easy to take the ends off compared to others. Well, thank you. That's something when we were working on that shock that we wanted to make sure, because it is a pain in the neck when you're having to take that rod end off for bump rubber adjustments, so we wanted to make that as easy as possible. Next question. Update on the pressure disc. So 3 or 4 episodes ago we showed these cool new pressure discs we're working on. We ran into a little glitch getting them cut out, but we're hoping to have those in the next week or so. Once we do, we'll kind of let everybody know on social media that those pressure discs are available. Again, those are one-time use discs that it's a little decal 2-part that you'll put between the shock and the bump rubber, and it changes colors. I'm going to rotate this, trying to avoid the sun. Sorry about that. Changes colors depending on how much pressure it sees. So that'll be really nice for you to know exactly how much you're engaging that bump rubber. And again, we should have those available in the next week or so. So those still are coming. Another question I got emailed to me was shocks not holding pressure. 99% of the time, it's the inflation tool. So a couple quick things with that. If a shock is leaking gas pressure, the majority of the time, it's leaking out of the Schrader valve, because if it's leaking into the shock, that means oil's getting into the gas chamber as well, and it would be very apparent. Sorry, I'm going to avoid the sun here. It would be very apparent as you depress that Schrader valve, it would shoot oil out at you. And then you would know we do have an internal problem with the shock, definitely needs repaired. That's really, really rare. So oftentimes the valve core is just not tight enough. It's not seating in the Schrader valve housing. You can take a valve core wrench, same as you'd use on your tire, try to give that thing another quarter turn or so and get it to seal up. All that being said, the majority of the time it's leaking at the inflation tool when you screw it. So the volume of gas in these shocks is so small, one little and there goes all your gas, and you think, oh, the shock's not holding pressure. There's a copper crush washer in that inflation tool T-handle. All of us manufacturers use the same T-handle. There's only one company that makes it, and it's actually a fill valve for a air conditioning unit on a vehicle, or filling Freon in any type of air conditioning system. So we all get it from the same place. It's a copper crush washer. It's not meant to be put on, take off, put on, take off hundreds of times like we do it. So over time, if you over tighten it, that copper crush washer gets wore out, it no longer seals. An easy fix is to put a little O-ring in there. We do that with the ones at our shop because we're on and off shocks all day long. If it just gets totally shagged out, we can sell you a brand new T-handle. You don't have to buy a whole new gauge. You can just put the new T-handle on there. So, Jay, I'll answer your question in just a second. So on the gas pressure, make sure that your inflation tool's sealing up, because the majority of the time that's where it's leaking. So Jay, tips on adjuster cables. That's a great question. We get that a lot. The easiest thing to do to shorten your cable is to use a die grinder or just a little cutoff wheel on a Dremel, and cut the cable with that, because what that's going to do is cut the cable and then also kind of sear all the little fragments of the cable together, and then just lightly sand the outside edge of that, put a radius on it. That'll make it go back through the housing easier, get the cable end on easier, and again kind of weld all of those little pieces of cable together. If you try to cut it with tin snips or a sharp pair of side cuts, it tends to fray that, and it's a little bit of a mess. If that's your only option for cutting it, you can do that, but then you're also going to need to sand it on a disc sander or some way to get everything back smooth and put together. What other question did I have? Oh, the RS18 LT, our new large body twin tube. So that is available now in a single adjustable. So we originally released that as a double adjustable. It's been a very popular shock, deflective disc designed large body twin tube, and so with the popularity of that shock and a lot of people asking for a single adjustable, we did build a single adjustable version of that shock. So we got it in rebound or rebound and compression, and 6, 7, 8, 9 inch length. Been really popular in the wing sprint car market, and then got a lot of micro guys using it on the right rear in the double adjustable configuration. So anybody else that's tuned in have questions, again, I apologize for being late and just doing it in this rental car, but it was the best situation I had. I'm 90 minutes away from the hotel and didn't want to make everybody wait till I got there and got set up. So next week's a normal week. I'm in the shop on Monday, so we'll do it at 9 o'clock Eastern time and have our normal setup. Appreciate everybody's patience and tuning in. We hope everybody has a fantastic week wherever you're going racing. I'm actually taking the weekend off from racing. It's my dad's 60th birthday, and my brother's coming to town. But Jake will be at the hustle for us, and we hope to have some good results there. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic week. If I missed your question, shoot me a Facebook message or an email, and I'll get it answered. Take care, guys.